Hello people, I'm the Comic Book Gamer, and Batman v Superman was not made for the fans. Now, the reason I'm talking about this now is because I just discussed Civil War and Batman v Superman with Slickmoth, so that got me talking about Batman v Superman again, and with Civil War coming out, I see tons of people bringing up Batman v Superman, and so I want to talk about this movie again. So, the excuse I see everywhere for this is, well, Batman v Superman was made for the fans, it wasn't made for the critics. Please tell me, what fans was it made for? Wasn't made for Superman fans. I didn't see Superman appear in that movie. Show me where he appears in that movie. Also, by the way, spoilers for Batman v Superman. I shouldn't really have to give a warning because if you haven't seen the movie by now, then you pretty much don't really care about spoilers. But anyways, so Superman, he whines about the fact that people criticize him for saving people. He's not confident in anything he does. He's a god with god problems. It's like no one can relate to him. The only thing that even comes close to keeping him to this world is Lois Lane. He doesn't have Jimmy Olsen. He doesn't have any friends. He has no one. He's not relatable in any way at all. In the end, they completely rush his death just in like the last 5 minutes of the movie. They're like, hey, here's Doomsday. Doomsday's going to kill Superman because Zack Snyder thought it would be really cool if that happened because he wanted Batman to set up the Justice League. And if Superman's in the way, well, then Superman's going to set up the Justice League. So we got to kill Superman. Yeah. In case you guys didn't know, that is the reason for killing off Superman, not because Zack Snyder thought it would make a great story element, because he wanted Batman to set up the Justice League like Magnificent Seven / Seven Samurai. He wanted it like that. He wanted it to be Batman going around collecting everyone to create the Justice League. And if Superman's around, he can't have that. So that's why he killed off Superman. That is the reason from Zack Snyder himself. So, yep, that's why they decided to do one of the most important comic book storylines of all time. Killing off Superman paved the way for all these character deaths you see today, because of the fact that it's like Superman is the first superhero, and if you kill him off, it showed comic book companies that, okay, you can do that, and then you can bring him back and do all that stuff, and so it set the way for comic book deaths, and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing doesn't change the fact that Superman's death, the death of Superman storyline, set all of that up, and it was huge for all of comics, because Superman died. And in this movie, my favorite superhero of all time, I didn't feel for at all when he died because it was executed so terribly. We got one movie to know him because in this movie we didn't get any character development with him. It was just moody, whiny Superman, if you can even call him Superman. And then Batman was nowhere to be seen either. He was just some crazy murdering psychopath who was really stupid because if you look at his plans, is not very smart. His plan entirely hinges on Superman hitting him directly through those buildings. If Superman hits him through one building to the left, that fight is over because the spear is all the way over there. Why didn't he just open up with a kryptonite spear or bullets? And if you want to use the excuse, well, he wanted to make him see what it was like to be a man first. He wanted to bring him down. What? That doesn't line up with how this Batman's supposed to be. This Batman's supposed to be an effective Batman. His whole thing for taking him down is if there's a 1% chance that, you know, he's this crazy mass murdering psychopath, I need to take it. Well, if there's a 1% chance that you could fail by not opening up with a kryptonite spear or kryptonite bullets or something, then that's really bad, Batman. That's not effective. You are putting people in harm's way just because you want to make a point, when you could just be killing them straight off the bat, save tons of property damage, make sure no one else gets hurt, and you are taking this murderous alien off the streets. But no, he doesn't. His entire plan hinges on Superman hitting him through those direct buildings, and then that entire fight lacks common sense throughout, like, just the entirety of it, and it was just so stupid. But yeah, so another thing with Superman is, what about all his characters as well? The creation of Doomsday was done moronically. I really don't get what was going on there. It was just, okay, Lex Luthor, brilliant scientist, smartest guy in the DC universe. Yeah, he's just going to go in there, use Zod's fingerprints to trick this great Kryptonian technology, and he's like, hey, let me create Doomsday. And it's like, okay, because everyone's dead, that'll work, and he just cuts himself and Doomsday's created. It's like, well, that makes sense. Why the heck does Doomsday look like that anyways? Like, a creation, a combination of Lex Luthor and Zod, you think he'd look a lot different than Doomsday? Like, what happened if Superman got Lois pregnant? Would that mean Doomsday would be born? It doesn't make any sense. And then you got Lex Luthor himself, who is just so stupid. He's basically the Joker / Riddler from Batman Forever. So yeah, he's a terrible villain. He's nothing like he is in the comics, and nothing like Superman fans wanted him to be. So to me, this movie was not made for fans or critics. It was made for Zack Snyder. It was made for those type of people. The people are like, hey, I just want to see people being thrown around, lots of destruction happening, and Batman murdering a bunch of people. That's what I want to see. That's exactly what I want to see. To me, as a fan, I went to see Batman Superman on the big screen, have a great fight, maybe a cool story would happen. I was hoping, I wasn't exactly expecting it, but that's what I want to see. At the very least, I wanted some cool confrontation between Batman and Superman, but instead we got Superman, who's just like, oh well, I don't want to fight you, Batman. And we have Batman, who's going all out Punisher mode, trying to murder Superman, but not at first. No, at first he's got to bring him down to the level of man, and so yeah, he's just toying with him, and it was stupid. And yeah, so just basically, how is this made for the fans? Because to me, that's basically like saying, hey, this wasn't made for people who like good characters, good character development, and good story. It was made for blind fanboys. That's to me what should be on the poster. It should be like, this movie was not made for those types of people. This was made for people who, before the movie even came out, was like, this is the best movie of all time, and if you say anything different, you're completely wrong. Because those are the people I see like it. There are people that legitimately enjoy the movie. I'm not saying everyone who likes the movie is a blind fanboy. No, I'm not saying that at all. There are people that just like the movie, and that's fine with me. I don't care. That's your opinion. That's good. Everyone should have an opinion. But saying that, oh, well, you know, the critics are all completely wrong and because they make good points and things like that, no, that's stupid. There are things that are wrong about the fact that critics will be like, well, there wasn't enough humor. It doesn't need to be humor just because it's a superhero movie. But there does need to be good plot, good character development, and good characters, to where in this there was just that was extremely lacking. And to me, if this was made for fans, what was it made for fans of? Because I saw a guy masquerading as Lex Luthor, I saw a dude that said he was Superman, and I saw a guy that murdered tons of people but claimed he was Batman. None of those people, to me, match up with anything that I know of Superman. You look at the description of Superman, then you look at the guy in that movie, that's not Superman. Even the Man of Steel Superman was way different than this Superman. Like, you compare the two, and it's like, what? This Man of Steel Superman was confident in what he was doing. He learned a lesson, because if you look at Man of Steel, in the beginning, when his father dies, his father died because of inaction. At the end, he does not want that family to die because of inaction, so he kills Zod. He takes action. That is character development. We see choices making different effects there, to where Superman kind of just by the end he decides, Lois is pretty hot, I guess she's my world, and it's like, okay, whatever, guess see that happens. So he just goes and kills Doomsday and dies. It's like, yep, instead of being like, hey, Wonder Woman, I'll take the lasso, you take the spear, and you go do it. But nope, can't have that, because that would make sense, and if there's one thing this movie is, it does not make sense at all. So yes, Batman v Superman. I hate that excuse of it's made for the fans, because it's clearly not. Fans of what? What are they? Zack Snyder fans? Okay, it's made for Zack Snyder fans. I understand that. If you're saying it's made for Zack Snyder fans, I'm sorry, I got tongue twisted. Then yes, I understand. But if you're saying it's made for fans of Superman or Batman, then no, I don't see where you're coming from there. It doesn't make any sense to me. And yes, you don't have to be 100% accurate to the comics, but I would like to see a lot of elements from the comics brought to life, but instead we didn't get that. We got, like, Dark Knight Returns will turn the murder dial up to 11, and that's what we got for Batman. Superman, I just don't even know. That Superman was just a completely new Superman that I'd never really even seen before. Wasn't even Superman. But anyways, please let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of, like, what fans was this made for? When you guys hear that excuse, what do you think of that? When you think, oh, it was made for the fans, do you agree? Do you disagree with that statement? Please let me know. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.